Hello, hello, hello. I am Jamila McMallow, and I am a mindset coach for women executives and entrepreneurs. I help my clients heal their issues from childhood in my 90-day program, which is a results oriented alternative to traditional talk therapy or counseling. Okay. So, we're talking today about if you want something different, then you have to do something different. And really, I'm talking to women who have tried traditional therapy or counseling and have not been completely satisfied with the results. It definitely is one avenue of emotional healing. It definitely is a route that has worked for many people that I know personally that have found great therapists, got great results, et cetera, et cetera. But just like with any method or route, it doesn't always work for everyone. I am one of those people that it didn't work for. I got better results from pursuing alternative methods for my emotional healing. Now, you may have tried again these traditional ways of healing and had a similar experience to me where you felt like you were kind of just talking about the same things over and over, developing a sense of awareness, but never really getting a release or a moving forward or moving on, from these experiences that you had dealt with. Almost feeling like, can we just get to the bottom of it so we can get over it and, and be done or move on or whatever. That's kind of just me. That's my personality. So that's who I'm talking to in this video. Like I said, not a judgment against anyone who has found success in those methods. But for those of us who haven't, there shouldn't be any judgment against us either. Okay. Because again, there's more than one way to do your healing. There's more than one route. There is something that's for everyone. Okay. I'm in the alternative space, but I want to be clear about that. One of the things that may have been your experience, like I said, is that you tried that traditional method, it didn't work. And then you tried the alternative space or route, and it was just a little too woo. You're like, I believe in God, I read the Bible, what is this? You didn't feel spiritually safe. Okay. Well, I'm not on that end of the spectrum either. Okay. So I'm not the traditional route. I am an alternative, but I'm not over here either. So it's a really nice, happy medium for you to be able to get that emotional healing that you're desiring at an accelerated speed that you would love to have, but with the compassion, space, and openness that, of course, must be present in order for you to really feel safe, to be vulnerable and to open up and to share your emotions and feelings with someone. So I want to talk to you a little bit about my process and really what makes what I do different and unique. The first thing about me that you should understand is that I am empathic. What that means is that I have a biological sensitivity to the energetic signature of emotions. So when we feel something, when we have an emotion, it's an energetic response. Well, I just pick up on them. My body biologically just picks up on that from other people. I've been this way my whole life. And it's, when I was in school, my friends would be telling a story and I'd be like, yes. And it was like I was feeling it with them because I truly was feeling their emotions. It's one of the things that has caused me to be an incredibly loyal friend. Sometimes loyal in relationships where I'm not getting that reciprocal loyalty and I really need to give it up. But it's just because I could so deeply connect with how that other person was feeling. And so, innately just had that loyalty to them and their experience. So I say all that to say that I thought everybody could do that. Everybody was like that. Everybody definitely has the capacity and the ability to show empathy. We're human beings. We have the ability to care for one another and to be there for one another. If you're just dropping in to say hello, please drop me a comment, say hi or what's up so I know who's out there watching. I'm using StreamYard, so I can't really see, any names or anything like that. But what I want you to understand is that I thought everybody was this way. It wasn't until I got much older and, hey girl, how you doing, Grace? So good to see you. So it wasn't until I got older that I started to realize. It was funny because I actually said to my husband, I said, I was watching a video on YouTube because what happened was I lost my corporate job. Okay, I had gotten into this position. Well, I'll just tell you the whole long story, but I'll give you the Reader's Digest version. Essentially, I was in a position where I was doing well, and they pulled the rug out from under me with a garbage pay plan and expected me to sell it. That was the first time I learned that if I don't believe in something, I can't sell it, because I was emotionally inside, I was done. At the time it happened, I was pregnant. It was an extremely stressful situation, so stressful that I ended up going into labor early. My son ended up in the NICU where they essentially poisoned him and he died. Yes. So all of that, okay, led me to the place to where I could no longer perform in that job because I didn't believe in it, couldn't stand it. So anyway, got that lovely severance package and moved on with my life and said, okay, now I'm going to embark on this road of entrepreneurship. But we know that always starts with a personal development journey first, right? So that's what I was just digging into myself and digging in deeper and deeper. And I remember watching this video talking about, what's your gift? I said, what's my gift? Look at my husband, whatever. So he just, he tells me, well, you like to give people advice or something like that. And I said, huh. And even though that wasn't the truth of it, it clicked something in me that was like, and it just spiraled down to me realizing, hey, I am always the one that's listening, giving encouragement, picking up on people's feelings and emotions and guiding them through that and whatever, whatever. And I realized that's not like something that everybody can do. That's a gift that's unique to me. And it's so easy, right? And because it's so easy for me to connect and for me to understand, that's why my clients, they don't have to divulge all the gory details of their childhood trauma and experiences in order to heal from them, in order to get a release. I don't need to know that because the exercises I use are written, visualizations, also powerful conversations where I'm asking them questions. Sometimes right there on our Zoom call, I'm walking them through an experience that they're having or whatever to help them release it. And so my point is that because I can feel what they're feeling, I'm able to guide them, but I'm not connected to the story of it, right? I'm not in it with them, like believing all the nonsense that they believe about what happened. So I can just see it what it is, like an observer, as it were. So that's how I'm able to help them navigate through it and get to the end result faster, etc. Because I can see the bottom of it. They're talking about this, but their feelings are telling me this. And I'm like, that ain't it. This is what's really happening. And it's like, boom, yes. And that's the bottom of it. So that's my gift, is the ability to connect with people, to feel what they're feeling and to get to the bottom of why that negative story, feeling, emotion is there. Because if you get to the bottom of it, then you root it out at the bottom and then all this other stuff goes away. There are no more symptoms. The story is over. The hurt emotions are released. It's gone. You move on. It is not true that you have to keep reliving negative, hurtful experiences in your mind. The reason why we suffer is because we don't know how to release our emotions. We hold on to them. That's why we suffer. And I'm really sick and tired of women getting this advice that they somehow have to sit with their feelings and journal them out. There's a place for all of that. But when we're talking about old stuff from childhood, stuff that is a blockage to you moving forward and becoming the next version of yourself, that's not something you need to sit with. That's something you need to allow to go. They're old feelings, old wounds that just need to heal so you can move forward. Listen, you break your arm, it heals and you move on with your life. You don't walk around with a broke arm and keep talking about it and writing about your arm being broken and, and how you try to live life with. No, you go get it, the wound addressed, and you heal and you move on, and then you can use your arm again. It's the same way, as far as I'm concerned, with our emotions. We hold on to them because we don't know how to release them. That's all. That's all. So many of us, we're not crazy. You're not crazy. You just don't know how to let those old feelings go. And that's all they are, is they're old feelings. And so there's nothing to be afraid of. And so that's number one. I'm empathic. So I get you. You don't have to tell me all that stuff, because listen to me, the women that I work with typically are very driven, very ambitious, very successful in their careers or their businesses. And so with that, sometimes they have developed a way of being emotionally disconnected. Okay, they're not that connected to themselves emotionally. And so crying and feeling weak or vulnerable is something that is very, very averse to them. They don't like that feeling. And of course, that's a part of, their stories and the things that they've been through. And as we work together, they become more comfortable with their feelings and their emotions, etc. But the point is, they're not comfortable just sitting in all of that. And so that's okay, because I'm going to be able to connect with them and help guide them through that process, because I get it. I have spent hundreds, now probably 1,000+ hours coaching women just like you, just like that, through these places emotionally to the other side, because it's primarily your resistance that's going to get in the way of your healing, because your mind perceives these old wounds, these old memories, these things from your childhood as pain. And so it's going to throw up a litany of distractions to prevent you from actually going there. And so that's also a part of my secret sauce, is because I know how to move you through the resistance, trigger exactly what needs to happen so that you can get the release. Okay, that's what I do over and over and over again. It's what I have always done. If you read through my messaging that I've had, I might be talking into this problem, that problem, whatever. My process that I have, it is a 4-step process. It has always been the same. We uncover the problem. Okay, we deal with it at the root. We release it. We reshape your core beliefs, your limiting beliefs, etc. And then we anchor in your new ones and help you have a routine so that you can stick to this new way of thinking and feeling and being. Simple, but not easy. And when I say it's not easy, it's the fact that you're going to have to go down some hallways that you don't want to go down. You're going to have to revisit some things that you don't want to, but it's not challenging in that you have to spend a whole lot of time trying to dredge up something. I know the questions to ask. I know the exercises to give you. This is not a situation to where you come into my container and you have 1,000 videos to watch and you have to figure it out for yourself. Listen, if you wanted to figure it out for yourself, you wouldn't have hired me. That's my job. My job is to help you. So how am I going to do that if I basically sent you off to figure out what it is that you need? No, I give my clients one exercise at a time. And we do that exercise through to completion until you get the result. Then we move to the next step. Why? Because it is like we are unraveling. Okay, we're at the root, and everything we're unraveling it. And we do it very strategically, very specifically. So this is the difference between some of those traditional methods that you may be used to, and even some of the woo that you maybe have tried, is that it's kind of like you show up and you see what happens. When you come to me, it's like you show up and this is what we're going to do. This is the process. This is exactly how we're going to peel it back. This is exactly how we're going to unravel this. And then all of these other things that you're telling me about, watch them go away. That's how it works. Time and time again. And the woman who gets the best results from my program is already winning and succeeding in some place in her life. I'm not the mindset coach for the woman who doesn't have anything going for herself, is complaining about, I don't have any money. I can't get a job, all these different things. It's like, sure, I could encourage you. And yes, I have worked with women with experiencing who are in that place in their life. And it is too much heavy lifting for me. Okay. But when you have a measure of success and you are experiencing some momentum in your life, then it is a lot easier to simply focus on now the emotional part that you really want to address and bring that same energy, momentum, and focus and drive to this experience. See, that's one of the things that probably threw you off the most, is when you tried these traditional methods, it required you to slow down. And it's almost like you had to become someone different to go through that process. Whereas I understand how you operate, how you're functioning, because I'm that way. And we're going to function within how you are so that the experience is not so different. So you don't have to, you're already getting rid of things that are hard to face, that are painful. Let's not also force you to do it in a way that is hard for you, because you don't like to sit and talk to someone about all your dirty secrets or things that are very, very personal that you don't want to share. But you feel like if you don't, you won't get the healing. Okay? So that's the difference. You don't have to share with me to get the healing. You're still going to get the healing. You're still going to get the release because my exercises are designed to do that. And the exercise is all about you doing your work with my support. It is not about me being all up in your business. Because, everybody thinks, hey, it's my business. And of course, my clients trust me because I value that sacred space that I've created for them. It's not easy to be a woman in a leadership role, in a leadership position, and to raise your hand and say, you know what? Everybody thinks I'm strong. Everybody thinks I got it together, but I really feel like I'm falling apart. And I don't know how to do this. I feel embarrassed. I mean, my client, this is how they are. They feel like I should have already figured this out, or I shouldn't be having to deal with this, or it's almost like they're apologizing to me that they're bothered. It's like, you're not bothering me. This is what I do. I help women like you. So like I said in one of my other videos, I have to almost walk my clients through giving them permission to just let themselves fall apart so that we can put them back together as the next and best version of themselves. Thank you for the love. Feel free to drop a hey, what's up in the comments so I know who's out there watching, because I can't see unless you comment on StreamYard. But thank you. So that's what I want you to understand. I connect with my clients so they don't have to divulge all the details to me. My process is simply 4 steps. Hey, girl, it's simply 4 steps. So it's very strategic, very specific. We target the relationship in childhood with your father, the relationship with your mother, your money blocks, and then we focus on getting you clear on what you want and really anchoring in those new ways of being. Now, that's in my 90-day program. So yes, in my 90-day program, you can be free of daddy issues, mommy issues, and money blocks. Boom, done. It's a wrap. But if you work with me longer, of course, we can continue to unravel things like perhaps you have an ex-husband, and even sometimes in my 3-month container, if there's time for it, it depends on, because we go at your pace, right? I don't push you. I don't rush you. Like I said, we do each exercise until completion, until you get the result. We don't move forward until you have the result. Then we move to the next step, because that's how it works. It's just the way it works. It's how my process works. Yes, we have to break down to build back up. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because isn't it true that sometimes the person we built ourselves up to be is simply the person that we think we should be, or the person that we think other people want us to be, or that we become in order to fit into the box of or the construct of whatever it is we think we're allowed to do or whatever? Isn't that true? So we have to break that down. I really think of my processes as an unshackling, being unleashed, becoming unlimited, because you're no longer being held back by these things from your childhood that are the foundation of your core belief system that governs what you believe you're allowed to be, what you're allowed to do, what you're allowed to have. The foundation and the crux of who you believe you are as a woman, not who you want to be or who you really are, but who you believe you are, and most importantly, who you believe you are allowed to be. Okay, it's just your belief. Doesn't make it true. It does not make it true. It's just what you believe because it's something you've told yourself over and over again. Okay, that's all a belief is. It's not true. I mean, sometimes it's true, but it's not. In this case, limiting beliefs are not true. You do have beliefs that do work for you and that are good. Like you may have the belief that, hey, I'm a fast learner, or hey, I'm a great athlete. Whatever it is, you may actually have some, which I know you do. You have beliefs about yourself that are innately positive, things that you don't even question. And if someone says the opposite, you don't even consider it, because to you, it's a falsehood, because your belief system tells you otherwise. And so you accept what you believe is true at all times. So, but for the beliefs that are not working for you, that's where we do our work, because it's those beliefs that are holding you back from really moving through your upper limits, from really moving into the next version of yourself, from really healing from your past in a way that it doesn't have to come up anymore. You could be done with it. Yes, you can be done with it. You don't have to continue to live in the past and these memories and these feelings and these stories, all these things. No, you don't have to marinate in it. You don't got to keep talking about it. None of that. And here's the thing I want you to understand. Talking about something, yes, is therapeutic in nature. It can make you feel good, but it's temporary. It's not healing. You don't heal until okay, if you get hurt and you get a wound, the healing doesn't happen because you're telling your doctor about the wound. It's not until he addresses it, let's say it's the knife, you've been stabbed, takes the knife out or what's causing the pain out. Now it can heal. Talking about the knife in the wound doesn't change anything other than that. Well, I can feel now that the knife, it might be going a little bit deeper. The pain feels sharp. I can recognize when I'm doing too much because, then it starts to hurt a little bit more. And so I know to slow down because I don't want, that knife to go in. No, we're not. Take the knife out and then you heal. That's how it works. And so that's what I do. We take the knife out. We release those hurt feelings, those old feelings, those old stories from those experiences that you had when you were a little girl, when you didn't have the maturity or the understanding to navigate what was happening in your life. And you just accepted things as they were and created black and white reasons so that you could make sense of it all. You're an adult now, you get to choose. And so that's what we do, is we help you to choose what you're going to keep and then what you're going to get rid of. Because when you were a little girl, you didn't have a choice. You had no choice. You had no control, no power over what you were taught, conditioned, the messaging you received on who you are and all those things that you believe about yourself, about life, about money, about men, about relationships, all of it. You received it. Well, now you get to choose, like I said, because you're an adult and you have the power. And it is not an act of disloyalty to your parents. It is just simply a reality that they weren't perfect. They only could give you what they had. And where you have gotten to in your life, and you know as well as I do, you have exceeded them. You have gone beyond them in your career, in your entrepreneurship journey, in your income, perhaps even in your mindset and maturity. And they wanted that for you. They wanted you to exceed them. Most parents, I won't say all, but because I did a training yesterday and some people's parents didn't want them to succeed, but it's like, okay, but for the most part, most people's parents want them to succeed and go beyond them. And so even though your parents wanted that for you, now that you're an adult, you have to give yourself permission to actually do it. And the only way to do that is to, again, address the root causes, which are those things that happened in childhood. You spent years living with them because it's a falsehood to believe that these things are somehow in your past. They're not. They're right there in front of you, governing your choices and decisions, your relationships, everything you do every day. The little girl version of you is right there pointing and directing. Okay. And so it's very important then, like I said, to go to the root and deal with that once and for all. And my process does not take a long time, because it just doesn't have to. I mean, if you want to take a long time, then you can hire somebody else. I say it like this. If you want to take the long scenic route, you can hire somebody else. But if you want to nip it in the bud so you can move on with your life and create the space in your mind for what you want to think about, feel, and believe, that's what I do. Okay. So for those of you that hopped on late, again, I'm Jamila McMallow. I'm a mindset coach. I serve women, executives, and entrepreneurs in my 90-day program, which is a results-oriented alternative to traditional talk therapy and counseling, because there is more than one way to heal. Okay? There's something for everybody. And for the women that are for me, I am for you. So thank you for watching. I went a little bit longer than I wanted to, but if you're watching the replay, please comment and let me know. And anyway, I look forward to seeing you next time. See you later. Have a great day. Oh, and by the way, before I stop going live, I'm thinking about the next thing, having a snack and whatnot. I'll let you know a little bit about me. I have toddlers. I have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old. So I put them down for their nap, hurry to go live, get on here, start talking to adults because I haven't talked to any. And I'm like, oh, just blabbing and going on. So pardon me. But if anything I said with you today landed, if it resonated, you're like, yes, Jamila, yes. Where do I learn more? Send me a message. So all you have to do is send me a message, or you can go to my website right here. It explains my process. It'll tell you a little more about my background. I have 20 years coaching and mentoring experience in a variety of professional settings. Okay. And I have been focused specifically on this area for the last, it's been over a little over 4 years. Okay. I've coached spent hundreds of hours coaching women. Like I said, probably 1,000 by now. And actually, I don't even know. I haven't counted all the women that I've coached. So it could be, 100. I just haven't done that. Maybe I should. But anyway, if you feel like anything that I said landed and you want to learn more about my 90-day program, by all means, message me or visit my website. And again, I want to thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. All right. Bye-bye.